estate investors. I'm excited to reconnect with you. I'm also very excited to share some of the market information with you here in Orlando, Florida. I know that a lot of you have purchased properties back in 2013 and 14. We're approaching that 3 to 4 year mark, so I thought let's get in there, let's get you a market update, let's talk a little bit about your investment and management process, and then we'll talk about the future of your investment also. So number one, the market is doing great, right? And so when you bought a property in 2013, when we were all together, I said, the market's gonna come down, you're gonna hit the bottom of the market, we're coming out of the market, and you're gonna see exponential growth. And so we've seen that exponential growth. It's very important that you understand that over the last 3 to 4 years that you've owned your property, you've been getting rental income. That rental income should only be giving you a percentage return of somewhere between 3 and 5%. It's the exponential growth in combination with that rent that's gonna give you that maximum rate of return that you're looking for. We call that the mixed rate of return. It's mixing the cash flow with the value growth. So on average, a lot of you are 3 to 5% on the cash flow from the rent. And on average, over the last 3 to 4 years, the market has seen somewhere between a 6 and 10% return on value. If we combine it at the lowest end, someone's seen a 9% return in combination. If we combine it at the highest end, some of you are seeing a 16% return per year. Now we're not seeing it yet because you haven't sold your property, so we haven't realized that gain, and that's okay, but the value is there. Now, we are in a patient game of holding long-term assets, and we want to make sure that we go through the whole process of holding that asset. So we're at the year 4 mark. We talked originally about a 5-year mark, and then we also said if you really wanted to expose the market and get the maximum return, you'd be looking at selling in like year 7. So we're at year 4 on average for most of you. And the other thing that we want to talk about is how are we doing managing your property, and what are some of the improvements that we can make in that process. So we want to make sure we manage your expectations. Some of you know that you've had the same tenant in your property for 3 years. When they move out of that property, there's a lot of wear and tear, and we said you should expect some sort of expense every year, somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 per year. That's expected, and you're still gonna get that return that you want. So if someone's been in a property for 3 years, do not be shocked that if that expense is $4,000 or $5,000 because you didn't spend it in year 1, 2, or 3. Make sense? So as we grow exponentially, your maintenance cost here in year 3, 4, and 5 may also grow exponentially if you haven't experienced it before. That's all right. We're all taking that into consideration through this process. And if you get that same tenant to stay and they did a great job, you may not have any expense in year 3, 4, or 5, and that's even better for you, right? But we want to take into consideration life expectancy of things like appliances, air conditioning systems, the plumbing, the faucets. These are all things that we want to reinvest in our property and make changes. So we're gonna make sure we do a good job of doing exterior preventative maintenance to your property, doing interior preventative maintenance of your property, and kind of sharing a condition report with you while we're there. We've brought on some excellent staff with a lot of great experience here recently, and we're making huge strides to communicate better with you through maintenance and through the infrastructure of our PropertyWare software. We're gonna start sending you videos that will explain the process on how you can get online in your owner portal and see more of this information so that you are in the know about your property and you can make a better educated opinion about where your property's at, where you want to see it go. And of course, I always share with you, I'm always available to have conversations with you. The staff's always available to have conversations with you to talk about your property and what we want to see it, or how we want to see it perform over the next several years. So the third thing that we want to talk about today is what's the future of your property, the value, the rents. Number one, we want to do an excellent job of getting your rents to come in a little bit higher. Right now, because we started renting your property years ago, we are a little undervalued on the rents, and we want to come up just a little bit, maybe $50 to $150, so that you increase your income per year and offset some of these expenses that you may have. The other thing that you're going to want to see happen is that we are going to make sure that we continuously communicate with you in the way of a newsletter, in the way of videos, and we make sure that we coach you through the process of this last 3 to 5 years of having your property. Some of you will want to hold on forever, but we'll make sure that as you get closer to this stage of success at the end of your 5 to 7 year run, we want to be partnered up with you through that process to make sure you're making the best financial moves for you. Again, I'm really excited to be back in front of you. If there's anything that we can do for you at National Real Estate, let us know, and we'll see you again next month.